Hello everyone, this is JoeCool10. Welcome back to Let's Play LEGO Lord of the Rings. So like I said in the last episode, between episodes I looked up where the key was for this mytho brick, and so there's two things that we're gonna need. First, we're gonna need the crank, which is over here, like I said in the last episode. So we have to dig up. There's like 3 soil patches here, and it's randomly decided which one has the crank. So you just have to dig up all and just keep digging until you find the crank. There we go. And now, like I said before, the game doesn't point out where you're supposed to go, but we did see it a couple of times already. It's this structure over here, actually. You can see the key in there. So we need to... The crank thing is on top there of the structure, so we have to smash these blocks here. I just decided to do it with smash it with Legolas. There's still some rocks there yet, so we do have to finish smashing those up. Now we can get the crank, and there we go. Pretty easy stuff. Now we can grab the key, and the game is going to tell us where to go with it. So it doesn't really matter where we cross here. We just have to get over to here. And use the key. And there we go. I know I have a stockpile of mytho bricks. I do end up using some of them in this episode, I think. It's either this episode or next episode. So now we're going to continue with Minas Tirith. This one mytho brick here by Dunharrow counts as part of Minas Tirith. I got disoriented. So anyway, so we're gonna head for Dunharrow quick and get this one mytho brick. So yeah, so we're actually not too far from being done here with this Let's Play. We just got a few areas left to clean up. We got Minas Tirith here in this episode, and then we've got Minas Morgul, which includes Osgiliath. We'll be doing a little bit of that in this episode, and more of it next. I think we do it next episode, and then we'll do all of Mordor in the last episode of Free Roam, and then we'll have some episodes after we finish Free Roam, just for some of the end game stuff. There's a few things that you can do at the end of the game, so we'll worry about those later though. So yeah, we have to shoot all these arrow studs, and then we can jump up here. We got a bunch of arrow jumps here. This is actually pretty easy to do. I think I've maybe failed this before in my previous playthroughs, but it's not too hard. So we'll jump down here and we'll head for we're not gonna head for Minas Tirith yet. We're gonna head for these mytho bricks outside of Minas Tirith first. So this mytho brick right here is actually the end of a race, so we can't get that one just yet. But there's this mytho brick right here that we can get. There's a bunch of guys with targets here. This one's a little tricky because it's a little bit of a timing deal where you have to shoot them at the right time. But luckily, once you shoot them, then they're done. So, and there's no time limit with this thing, so you shouldn't have too many troubles with it. 2 more. Again, timing is kind of the main thing here. Oh, I fired a little early there. Timing on these is just so... Getting the timing right is the hardest part. There we go. So now, I believe we're gonna do the race next. The race is over here. It's this horse and a buggy that we have to do. This one's kind of tricky, just because this horse does go kind of slow. So this one's a little tricky. I don't know why you have to ride the dang buggy in order to get this one, or why you have to do the horse and buggy, but it's just part of the challenge, I guess. What's bad about it is that you can't jump either. Game does give you a little bit more time between the checkpoints though, just because you're going a little bit slower. Alright, and last one. There we go, and the horse and buggy runs back to the start. That's another thing that's bad about these races too, is that if you fail them, sometimes the item that you're using runs back to the start. So that one's only available at nighttime. So there's some stuff over here by a skilleth. This stuff actually doesn't count for Minas Tirith. It counts for Minas Morgul. A skilleth is combined with Minas Morgul. So yeah, I don't know why. I just started going for some of the stuff with the skilleth. We'll be doing more with those skilleths later. There's a couple of mithril bricks here in the skilleth that are actually kind of tricky to get, so. But there's a guy here we can talk to.
My elven loot was stolen by a group of orcs who have recently taken to pillaging our homes. I trailed them to the Black Gate, but I don't feel up to the task of recovering my belongings. Would you go on my behalf? I appreciate your help.
Alright. So, with that out of the way, one of the mithril bricks on this side of a skilleth is actually up there. There's a chest right there, but you need a key to unlock it. So it's that chest is kind of crazy, but I think yeah, we're gonna head for Minas Tirith now. So there's a couple things inside of Minas Tirith that we need to get. There's a blacksmith design, and there's a guy here we can talk to. The blacksmith design, we actually have to shoot these targets here. There's 7 targets, and some of these are kind of hidden, so you do have to do a bit of looking around to find all of these. So yeah, some of those targets you have to come up towards the front here a little bit. And there's one over here. And then there's one right there, you can see it. This one is probably the hardest one to spot if you don't look for it. And once you see all the targets, the blacksmith design appears. So you probably was wondering what these bars are for. Well, that's what it's for, because the blacksmith design spawns up here. So that is the mithril disco file. Not very useful, but most of these blacksmith items in here are not useful. So let's talk to this guy.
I've not visited Osgiliath in so long. I've all but forgotten the place. My duties prevent me from leaving my post. But perhaps you would be kind enough to bring me a statue hat as a reminder of my travels?
Alright, so we'll give that to him.
I'm truly grateful.
Alright, so that takes care of that mithril brick. So now we're going to go ahead and head out. And there's a few items here that we can get right outside of Minas Tirith. There's this guy here we can talk to. Ring the bell first to open the gate. Let's see what he wants.
I hear that the secret stairs are home to an elven treasure known as the Sure-Footed Greaves, which allow their wearer to walk on deep snow without sinking, whatever their weight. How dry my beard would keep if I had them.
Yeah, so I guess that's one thing about the Sure-Footed Greaves from the secret stairs is that you do need them for this quest.
Thank you.
Even though they're only useful for the passive Paradis, which is weird. Weird, but whatever. Anyway, so there's a mole game over here. We actually don't need to use the bow here, but I pulled out my bow just because. So this one here's not too hard. There's just 10 moles here with the hit, and they're all fairly close to each other. This might be one of the last mole games. I think there might be one left, but I could be wrong. Running a little short on time here, but I should get. Yep. Grab that one. That is another Mithril brick down. So we'll check the map here again. See where we're at. So there's a Mithril brick right down there, as you can see. So I think that one might count for Miss Morgul, but I don't know for sure which area it counts for. Sometimes it's hard to know. So there's a rope item here first. And there's a crank here. We need it for this part right here. Turn the crank. There's a cave. Grab this key. We want to use it for this item right here. As you can see, there's a lock right here that you need a key for. So always head for the nearest arrow that the game is pointing you towards. And there's that Mithril brick. That is that. So yeah, so trying to think if there's anything else I end up doing in this episode. I don't think that there is. For free roam, yeah, that one's only available at nighttime. But oh yeah, I'm gonna get that one next. There is something that we're gonna do here before finishing off this episode. As you might have noticed, we almost have all the blacksmith designs. We're actually only missing one at this point, and the last blacksmith design is actually in Mordor. You've seen it before, but anyway, there's a camp here with some orc guys. There's 3 of them here that we have to take out and grab the Mithril brick. Pretty easy. There's some wargs here if you want to ride it, but not very useful. So now, yep, I checked and I got everything. So I was just kind of looking over to see what all I had left. But a lot of, there's a couple of these Mithril bricks that are tough to get in a skilleth. I think at this point I realized I only have one blacksmith design left. Yep, so that's where I checked my stats and I saw that I only have one blacksmith design left to get, and that is of course in Mordor, and that's by Sauron. So we're gonna get that right now. So we're gonna fast travel to the Black Gate. And we're gonna get that last blacksmith design. It is, as I said much earlier in the game when we came by here, is the Mithril Fireworks, which does allow you to destroy silver Lego objects, but it is not as good as the Mithril. So I'm not gonna do this challenge right now. We'll save it for when we actually do Mordor properly. Yeah, these guys follow you for quite some time. Okay, that last guy ran off. So we're just gonna go ahead and grab the blacksmith design for now, and then we'll be back here later in a couple of episodes to get through Mordor properly. So I do think we, I think we do need Legolas for this. So we'll grab him. We'll grab Legolas here quick. Jump up here and grab the blacksmith design. And of course, this is the mithril fireworks. Costs 16 mithril bricks to craft, as I said before. Not really worth it to get, because the berserker is a lot easier to get, and the berserker's bomb works a lot better than the fireworks do anyway. So and it's a lot easier to get the berserker anyway, because you just have to pay studs to get him. So, but since we have all the blacksmith designs now, we can head back to Bree here. I think I'm just gonna craft one blacksmith item for right now, and that's the mithril fireworks, just to get them at this point, because most of these are not too useful. The mithril disco file is not useful. Mithril camouflage tone allows any character to disguise. The spring boots allow any character to get the boosted jump like Legolas does. All these are just extra swords and bows that aren't really useful. All these cost 16 mithril bricks to craft, so the only one we're going to get right now is the mithril fireworks, even though it's not really useful. Might as well turn in some of our mithril bricks though. We'll have a bunch of mithril bricks to turn in though later. I believe that I do cash in a bunch of my mithril bricks in the next episode. So we'll go ahead and get the mithril fireworks. There we go. Alright, so that takes care of that. I believe that is all we get at this point. Next episode we'll be getting a bunch more stuff. Yeah, I just decided to wait for now. But yeah. I was just kind of thinking, I was thinking about if there's any of these that I wanted to get, but there isn't really. But anyway, that is going to do it though for this next episode. In the next episode, we'll be finishing off Minas Morgul, and yeah, we'll just be doing Minas Morgul, and then we'll be doing Mordor later. We just have those areas left. So anyway, until then, it's Jokel 10 signing out.